All right, a big breaking news development coming in. India has withdrawn its High Commissioner from Canada. Apart from Ambassador Sanjay Verma, who's going to be coming back to New Delhi, other diplomatic staff members whose life has been under threat of Khalistani extremists in Canada, in Ottawa, in Toronto, they are going to be called back. This is a big move by India, essentially upping the ante on the indulgence that the Trudeau government has been having with the Khalistani elements, extremists compromising India's territorial integrity and sovereignty from Canadian soil. And after issuing a démarche to the Canadian Charge d'Affaires in New Delhi, Stewart Wheeler, and telling Stewart Wheeler that the manner in which Canadian government has conducted itself, we have no faith in the assurances that it has given to take care of the safety of our diplomatic staff, and hence the government of India has decided to withdraw the High Commissioner and the other targeted diplomats and officials. India has also conveyed to Canada that we will take further steps in response to Trudeau government's support for extremism, violence and separatism against India. This is a strong statement coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs after having summoned the Charge d'Affaires to the MEA headquarters in the South Block. And the summons was by Secretary East, and then the Charge d'Affaires was informed that the baseless targeting of the Indian High Commissioner and other diplomats and officials in Canada was completely unacceptable. It was also underlined that in an atmosphere of extremism and violence, the Trudeau government's actions endangered their safety, and that India no more has faith in the current Canadian government's commitment to ensure their security, and hence the government of India has decided to withdraw the High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats and officials. Remember, last evening Canada had conveyed to the government of India, and this is the Charge d'Affaires, the Deputy High Commissioner of Canada, Stewart Wheeler, talking to press. He's brazening it out. Let's listen to him. Okay, we play the bite in exactly 20 seconds that Stewart Wheeler, the Deputy High Commissioner of Canada to New Delhi, he's the Charge d'Affaires as of now, and he was summoned by Secretary East to the Ministry of External Affairs. And let's listen to him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a statement to make.
Hold on. Careful.
The government of Canada has done what India has long been asking for. Canada has provided credible, irrefutable evidence of ties between agents of the government of India and a murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Now it is time for India to live up to what it said it would do and look into those allegations. It is in the interest of both our countries and the peoples of our countries to get to the bottom of this. Canada stands ready to cooperate with India.
All right, that was Stewart Wheeler, the Charge d'Affaires of Canada, still brazening it out, saying that we have provided some information, credible allegations now become credible information, which India, of course, has refuted. India has maintained all along that over the last year and a half, Canada has not provided any information whatsoever in connection with the murder of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar and the connection of that murder with any India-based agents or anyone within the government. Madhav Nalapat, strategic affairs expert, joins us over the phone. Mr. Nalapat, the Canadian Deputy High Commissioner choosing to brazen it out despite Canada having not provided any information whatsoever about what credible allegations Justin Trudeau has been talking about. But more importantly, Mr. Nalapat, India has really upped the ante and named and shamed Justin Trudeau personally. You think this is a new low insofar as India-Canada relationship is concerned under Justin Trudeau?
Well, I'd like to say the MEA has acted correctly, naming Justin Trudeau, and it's also very clear that the Canadian High Commission has become a nest for facilitation of anti-India elements, separatist elements, elements committed to violence, and you can check the way some of the diplomats there have been functioning, check their conversations with their Canadian counterparts, and you'll understand what I mean. There are several individuals who are concerned in the Canadian Embassy High Commission in New Delhi who are basically consorting with those who are known to favor violent means to overthrow the government of India, assassinate leaders in India, and frankly, create acts of mayhem and violence in several parts of India. So this is going on. And I would like to point out one thing very clearly. The K group is not representative of the Sikh community at all. And frankly, as far as Khalistan is concerned, I think the natural home for Khalistan would be in Pakistan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Nalapat, for those details. You, of course, would be joining in the conversation at 8 p.m. On Super Prime Time Max with Arnab Goswami on the manner in which Canada has indulged in. All right, I'm told Ms. Veena Sikri is joining us, Ambassador Veena Sikri, also on the phone. Good evening to you, ma'am. And you think that India has done the right thing by naming and shaming Justin Trudeau for his personal hostility with which he has conducted the India-Canada relationship?
Absolutely right. I think the government of India has taken the right decision at the right time. At the moment the news came about this, naming our High Commissioner and others, our government put out a very strongly worded note, absolutely stating the correct sequence of events and how Prime Minister Trudeau himself has been personally responsible for this deteriorating relations between India and Canada. We know earlier on, 41 Canadian diplomats were asked to withdraw from India. And now this time we have called back the Indian High Commissioner in Canada, and I think this is the right decision at this time. I think it shows to all the world because the note that our government put out earlier laid down the facts, laid down how India is absolutely not involved with this. In fact, today there has been reporting that there is a difference of opinion between the government of Canada and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, because Royal Canadian Mounted Police has not been able to give any evidence about the accusations which the government of Canada is making against India. And India has consistently been asking for evidence. The evidence has not been provided. Still, the government of Canada has gone ahead and made this absolutely preposterous allegation earlier today. And now our government has reacted properly. We put out a note, and now we have withdrawn our High Commissioner. Absolutely correct.